Hi, welcome to my channel. I thought we could talk today about the difference between connections with other people and relationships and attachments. First of all, I can explain that every person, when they're having a conversation, when they're relating in some way, there are cords that go out between us through our chakra points and they connect. They may connect on a spiritual level up in the higher chakras. They could connect on a heart level if there's a lot of love there. It's when they connect only and significantly on the lower chakras, especially in the solar plexus area or the sex chakra or Muladhara, which is at the base, where there could be problems when it's not like a smooth connection. That there could be abuses or codependencies that develop. And it's really good to be aware of connections that you have with other people and maybe ask yourself, is this an attachment versus a connection? So an attachment, there are things like when the cords can hook into your chakra area. So I've actually felt a hook from somebody else in my solar plexus area. And what happens is emotion can get transmitted along those cords. There could be power struggles. There could be one person trying to tell the other person what to do. And especially like right now in this time when we have so many people who are shedding some of their fears. There's a lot of things that's coming up from a lot of people right now, and it's usually a subconscious thing because not very many people can feel cord connections. It's a very sensitive energy to feel it. But they are there, and one of the things energy workers can do for you is to cut these energetic cords. So if you're in a situation right now where there's people around you, maybe it's one significant person in your life that's really driving you nuts, it's probably a cord connection, and it's very likely the solar plexus. That is the basic power struggle. If they're telling you what to do, first of all, if anyone is telling you what to do, it is a sign of an unresolved ego. That is their ego speaking to you, and really, in reality, they should be speaking to themselves and telling themselves what to do and what they want to see happen. It shouldn't be going outside of themselves. Well, I say shouldn't, but generally speaking, unless somebody wants advice or information, it should be sharing of information, but not telling other people what they should do. So that is a bit of a power struggle, and very likely a cord that's connected between your solar plexus chakra, Manipura, the gold chakra, your power center. This is where we get vampires. People who are energetic vampires can suck in your energy. They pull it in along these cords. So, at the end of this, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to disconnect from these cords in a healthy and safe way. But right now I want to talk a little bit attachment, because we're going to have cords no matter what. When we are energetically either speaking in person with someone, even through email, all electronics, even over the internet, there's cord connections that can happen, believe it or not. And if it's a good solid cord connection, like a connection, not an attachment, it will not have the ego. There won't be the power struggle there. If it's between a good friend, you'll be able to see that they can let you make your own decisions and your own choices in life. You'll have that bit of freedom just to be yourself. And sometimes you're the person initiating the power struggle too, so keep that in mind, that you attach to other people because maybe you're missing that part of yourself and that person has an aspect that you feel like you want. People in learning situations, if you're around a teacher or if you are a teacher, you are constantly having cord connections with your students and student to teacher. That happens. It's part of learning. So it is a very natural process. Don't get creeped out by it. It happens. Cords connect. But what I want to talk about is when it's unhealthy. Especially as a teacher, you need to know how to disconnect your cords. And it could be simple. It could be simple if it's a light connection. You can just do this because your chakras are generally on the here, 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 and then the other two lower down on the front of your body. So you can sometimes, with intent, wave your hands in front of your face and in front of your body and cut those cords. That's actually something I picked up in yoga. There's many techniques for doing it. A lot of people like to view angels. Angels do exist. Light beings, angels, whatever you call them, spirits, those people are there, and they're usually there to help you. If you ask for them there to help you and protect you, they will be. And you can ask for one of your angels or light beings to take a big sword and cut them all. And it's a very good idea to often visualize cord cutting at night, especially if you work in any kind of a job where you are around other people. Every night, do your cord cutting, sever the cords, and you want to see that other person. You visualize them in your head, visualize the cords between you. Then you're going to take a big imaginary energetic sword and you're going to cut those cords between you. And then you're going to see them go off into the light, and you want positive, you see them being happy. View them in your mind's eye as being happy, let them go. It's a beautiful thing. And then you can return to yourself. If there's pieces of the cords left in your body, pull out the piece. I want you to really visualize what the cords look like, how thick they are. Are they old? Are they new? Is it rope? Is it like string? Is it wire? Is it something stronger than that? And what kind of a tool you would use to cut these cords. Sometimes a knife isn't going to do it, or a sword isn't going to do it. Maybe you need like a big grinder machine. Take that all into account. Just make sure that you're cutting these cords and then pull out the sections that are left inside your body, especially if it was a codependent relationship. You really need to often disconnect. And once your cords are removed, fill the hole with something positive and loving to you. So you're going to fill it up. I like to use honey to fill up the hole, and light and positive energy. And those things really work for me, but really you want to use what works for you. So think of something that's very loving and kind and fill the holes. And what you'll notice, the more that you're cutting these cords on a regular basis, is you might start to breathe easier. You might stop worrying so much about what other people think about you. There's an immediate psychic reaction that will happen in your mind, like almost instantaneous. Sometimes if you need someone to cut cords for you, you can have an energy healer do it. If you practice enough with the visualizations, meditations, there are some on YouTube as well for cord cutting activities. If you practice enough, you'll be able to do it on your own without anybody. Although sometimes having somebody helps. If you're ending a serious relationship and you really need to break free, that's a really good time to cut some cords. If you are trying to move out away from family members, trying to change your life, and there's somebody back there that's kind of holding you back, it's very likely an energetic cord connection. These connections can happen on the backside of us as well, and they can be very, very draining. So the last thing I'll say too, now that you kind of know how to cut, you take your energetic sword and cut the cords in the front, in the back, and around you. So all around you. Cut those cords. Sometimes you still retain some of that energy. Some of the workers refer to it as shards of energy that are not yours. It could be emotions, feelings, anything. What I like to do, and this is a fun little visualization, I do have fun with this because it's not malicious, it's just returning back to somebody what is theirs. I imagine something like a big huge catapult or a slingshot, and then I load it up with all those trashy emotions that somebody tried to dump on me. And, maybe it looks like moldy pasta sauce and old forks and knives and, rotten fruit and vegetables. And I put that all in the catapult, whatever it is, and I aim at them and I let it go. And then I imagine what it looks like when I see, the moldy pasta sauce dripping off their face. And it's pretty funny, and it's not malicious. It's just returning to them what was already theirs. And clearing that energy out of our own body. Visualizations are really good techniques for learning how to control and work with your own energy. So that's just a fun visualization. Remember, it's not malicious, it's just returning back to somebody, and it could be in good humor too. And it's in a loving way. Always loving way. It's like a pie in the face. So I hope this helped you guys learning about energetic attachments, which are the solid connections. When you're not having that pull between a relationship, between that person you're in a relationship with, there's no pull. It's like, okay, you're connected, you're on the same wavelength, but you're not attacking or pulling each other. You might fight now and then or have an argument, but it doesn't get nasty. It's the things that get nasty, or our codependencies or power struggles that are corded relationships that would be best to be cut. So take that into consideration. And I recommend cutting cords every night. If you have any questions or more thoughts on the subject of cord cutting and attachments, go ahead and post it in the comments. I'm Jaya. Thank you for watching.